There's a concern, the railroad has a serious concern, which they can express to you, about an explosion with one or more of these cars. They describe an explosion as potentially catastrophic. We are weighing that and have been weighing that potential versus a controlled release. And they will explain to you in a moment what a controlled release is. We have decided that that controlled release will occur today at 3:30. We are urging everyone in this area, actually ordering them to leave. We are again sending out the Ohio State Highway Patrol, sheriffs, and other law enforcement to this area. And they have already gone through there at least once. They were through this area last night, urging people to leave. The work, going back for a moment, the work that was done last night resulted in a bigger area of about close to 100 people actually deciding to leave after they were contacted last night. Let me read the statement that I think summarizes what is going on. Following new modeling information conducted this morning by the Ohio National Guard. And let me just add that we have been in consultation with the Defense Department. We've also been in consultation with the manufacturer of the product. So following new modeling information conducted this morning by the Ohio National Guard, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro are ordering an immediate evacuation in a 1 mile by 2 mile area surrounding East Palestine, which includes both Ohio and Pennsylvania. If you'll look over here, I'll get back to the mic, but the red area and the yellow area, vinyl chloride contents of 5 rail cars are currently unstable and could potentially explode, causing deadly disbursement of shrapnel and toxic fumes. To alleviate the risk of this shrapnel, Norfolk Southern Railroad is planning a controlled release of the vinyl chloride at approximately 3:30 p.m. The controlled release of the toxic chemicals also has the potential to be deadly if inhaled. Those in the red area are facing grave danger of death if they are still in that area. Those living in the orange area are at risk of severe injury, including skin burns and serious lung damage. So this is you see the map. I'm going to ask, I think at this point, I'm going to start with the modeler, Master Sergeant Hirsch of the Ohio State Highway Patrol. He's going to briefly give you the principles in regard to the modeling that occurred as far as this area. Master Sergeant Hirsch.
Hello, I'm Master Sergeant Hirsch. I'm the primary modeler on scene. I can tell you we've extensively worked with the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, Combat Support Agency, the Department of Defense, our National Guard here, the railway crew themselves, and EPA in determining what went into this model. This model is an ongoing process. As things change, we revise these models. This is based on very conservative sort of metrics to best evaluate public safety and ensure that those in this affected area are best taken care of. And we've decided amongst ourselves that as of right now, based on the current weather patterns, that this model that you see here best represents the reality of the situation. Again, as weather conditions change, as new information becomes available, these also update, and they have quite frequently throughout the day. But at this time, just as Governor DeWine has already said, those in the red affected area, and we believe most of those people have been evacuated, are most at risk. Those in the orange stand very high proclivity for serious injury, especially to their lungs, and they should absolutely evacuate if not already done so.
So we have people out now, as I said, who are knocking on these doors again to make sure that there is no one there. Let me ask the Fire Chief Draybeck to come up here, who has done an absolutely phenomenal job during this crisis. I'm going to ask him to describe exactly where this area is. And Chief, the mics are here, the map is there, so they can only hear you if you stay by the mics.
Yes, sir. All right. As you can see, the area affected is at the easternmost part of our village. The streets in question that we're concerned about that they are out canvassing once again include, but not exactly limited to, Parker, South Pleasant, the BFI Access Road, Taggart Street, North Pleasant Drive, Failer Road, and East Martin east of Pleasant. Again, we are canvassing these streets once again to try and ensure that everybody gets out of here, as we've been stressing the evacuations since the inception of this incident. The Pennsylvania side, we're working close with Pennsylvania as well. They're deploying their units to go back and do another sweep of that area again to cover their residents within this zone. We've been in contact with them. We're working very closely with them, making sure they have what they need to facilitate that as well.
Chief, can you give any kind of description, though, for the Pennsylvania side?
From my understanding, the Pennsylvania side, there are limited residents there. It is mostly a wooded area, a lot of some game lands within that portion. Very few homes, limited residents. We feel pretty confident they're able to get in there and get those.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it very much. Let me now ask Scott Deutsch to come up from Norfolk Southern Railroad. He's going to talk a little bit about what this controlled release actually consists of.
Thank you, Governor. The process that we're going to do today, we're going to place a small shape charge. It's going to create a hole about 2.5 to 3 inches in the tank car. This will allow the material to come out of the tank car. It'll go into a pit and trench that we have dug and set up for this operation. Inside that trench will be flares lining that trench that then will light off the material. We're doing this so that we control this tank car that we have concerns with, these tank cars. This allows us to control that operation and not have the car react and do it itself. So that's what we're going to be doing later on today.
And if you just step the length of the release, how long does that take?
Based on the amount of material in there, it could burn anywhere from 1 hour to 3 hours. It all depends how much is left from the initial fires. So that's what we're looking at.
Can you also talk about the imperative of doing this during the day?
Yes, sir.
Because that was part of the rationale of the decision.
Yeah. Part of the decision-making process that we followed was if the car started to react again, the cars, I keep saying car, if they started to react on their own again, we can't control that time of day when that would occur. That would in turn, we'd have to worry about an inversion and other things weather-related. Okay, so we want to do it in the daylight, close to, prior to sunset as possible. That's our plan right now.
You want to talk for a moment also about the danger if the release is not done and what your concern is?
So, if you had an inversion occur, it will hold down the products of combustion that would normally go up into the atmosphere. And that would start to make a layer and hold that in longer. If we do it during the daytime, that'll allow the products to just keep moving up into the atmosphere. It's better for everyone for us to do it then.
We'll talk for a moment in regard to if there's an explosion, if the release is not done, and it actually turns out to be an explosion, what that would consist of.
Okay. So our controlled explosion, as I was telling you, we'll put a 2.5 to 3 inch hole in the car. If we don't do that, the car could continue to polymerize and the entire car will break apart. We can't control where that goes. So that's the reason for doing this, get moving on this, so we don't have to run into that, letting the car do it itself. We want to be able to control that situation. That's the safest way, is to control the situation, and that's with this operation we're going to take this afternoon.